Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. It's less than a month to go until Eurovision, so very exciting. It's always very exciting in the lead up to Eurovision, but I think this year even more because we've gone nearly 2 years without a proper Eurovision, so I think people are even more excited for it. And I think this year is interesting because there's not a clear, obvious winner. There's not just one standout winner, there's potential winners. So I think that makes it even more exciting. And that's what this video is all about. I'm going to be talking about who the potential winners could be. So in 2019, I think it was kind of clear that the winner would either be Italy or the Netherlands. And I think that became more clear, maybe not so much early on, but sort of closer to the time, at least, maybe in the week of Eurovision. I think it was quite clear that either Italy or the Netherlands would win. But this year, it's not clear right now, and maybe when we get rehearsal footage, it might become a bit more clear, but even then, maybe not. Maybe we won't actually have an idea until the actual night of the final. And I think even whoever wins probably won't win by like a landslide, like record breaking from, by a mile off. I think I've actually seen people predicting or comparing this year to something like 2016 or 2015 as well, actually 2015 and 16, where it was really close between about three countries at the top and there was no clear winner. So yeah, I think it could definitely be like that this year. I wasn't really going to do this in a particular order, but I do think when you look at the top 10 of the betting odds, the bookmakers' odds, I know you shouldn't always believe what they say, but when you look at the top 10 right now, I do think that the winner will be a country that's in the top 10 currently. I don't think it will be so much of a shock to the point where a completely random country wins that nobody's ever mentioned before. So yeah, I do think it will be somebody in the top 10 right now. So I think there's a group of possible potential winners, and one of the favourites right now, the current favourite in the betting odds and with people in general really, is Malta. So I think Malta will definitely do well this year, whatever happens. But and I do like the song. I like it. I think it's great. Not my favourite, but I like it and I think it will do well. But in terms of winning, I don't really I don't really see it as winner potential or winner material, I should say. When I listen to the song, I don't think it sounds like a winner, and I think even though it's the favourite to win now, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it doesn't win and if that will start to kind of move down. I mean, it'll be interesting to see the rehearsal footage finally, and bearing in mind this video, I'm filming this before we've seen the rehearsal, so that could change. But yeah, I think there's something about it that I just think there's other options. There's plenty of other options, and I don't think it's a clear winner at all, really. I know that there are lots of fans, Eurovision fans, that really love this, but will everyone like it? On the night, and I'm sure it will be in the final, on the night of the final, will people at home love it? Will it really get lots of 12 points from the juries? I don't know. I'm not actually saying that I don't like it, because I do, but I just don't really see it as a winner. I really wouldn't be surprised at all if it might be the favourite now, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure it could get like top 10, but no, I just don't really see it as a winner. But let me know what you think. If it does win, fair enough. I've been to Valletta and I can say Valletta is lovely. So, yeah, I mean, fair enough. Um, but I just can't see it. I have seen people compare it to Toy, Netta. Um, well, I think Toy, first of all, was a little bit more quirky. And in 2018, I think Israel didn't have, well, their main competition was Cyprus. It was Toy or Fuego. But this year, I think Malta have got more competition than Israel did in 2018. So, yeah. Another country that's been a favourite right from the start, similar to Malta actually, when the song came out, it became a favourite straight away, is Switzerland. So I still think that 2020, if it did go ahead, I think the Pont des Mois could have won or became very close to winning. So if To L'Univers does win, then that would be cool because that would make up for last year. And it's looking very likely. Definitely, yeah, it's still a strong favourite to win. I know people say, oh, we don't want a ballad to win. You know, after the year we've had, we want something upbeat. But I don't really agree with that because I think if a ballad deserves to win, then it deserves to win. It doesn't matter that it's a ballad. And it's not like we've had like five ballads in a row winning. So I don't think that matters at all. And again, people do compare it to Arcade. I think it was actually written by the same person that wrote Arcade. Um, so I think the danger that there could be is if the staging is really similar to Arcade. Basically, if they perform, if he performs just with a piano, then that will be, you know, a little bit too much like Arcade. People would probably think, oh, this is a bit too similar to the last song that won. So I think surely they wouldn't make the mistake of just having him sat at a piano. I imagine the staging would be quite creative and quite good because like the music video is so good. So if they can, you know, somehow put that into the staging, make it really creative and cinematic. I think cinematic is the word to describe the video. If they can have this amazing staging, then yeah, it'll definitely stand out. It's bound to do very well with the juries. It could win the whole jury vote, definitely. And yeah, it could do well with the public too. I can imagine it could be because at the end you have two countries that haven't had their votes yet. So I think Switzerland could be one of the last countries in the top two that are waiting for their vote to be called out. So yeah, Switzerland definitely a possible winner. But again, there are a few other options, and one of the other favourites, actually starting to become even more of a favourite quite recently, is France. Voila. So I have to admit, I didn't really pay much attention to this song for a while. It's not one of my favourites, and I haven't really listened to it that much. Um, but now that it's like the second favourite to win, I've been trying to understand and try to listen to it more. And yeah, the more I listen to it, the more I do think, yeah, like it definitely stands out. Um, and it actually kind of reminds me of 1944 because I remember when that won, or before it won, I didn't really pay much attention to that either. And it wasn't until after the contest finished, after it won, I listened to it more and I started to realise, yeah, now I can see why it won. So I do wonder if maybe Voila will be kind of like a 1944 situation, um, something that I appreciate after it happens. I think the staging could be really atmospheric. It was good in the French national final, so yeah, it does stand out, and maybe a ballad will win this year. It's interesting that we've got two French ballads, which one will come out on top, which one will do better than the other? It's hard to say. I don't really know. I suppose Two L'Univers sounds a little bit more modern than Voila, maybe. But I don't know. But yeah, I'm starting to try and realise now why France is a favourite. And I can kind of understand, even though it's not my personal choice. So yeah, but again, people compare it to Portugal, Salvador Sobral. There's always comparisons to everything. You've got Two L'Univers is arcade, Je me casse is toy, and now you've got Voila, which people are comparing to Salvador Sobral. But again, when Salvador won, he won by like such a landslide. It was such a landslide victory. So even if France does win, I don't think it will win by that much. Like it won't be like a record-breaking winner, even if it does win. But the thing I think about France, and the reason why I'm not sure if it will win, is because of the televote. I just think, where will the televote points come from? Will people really be voting for this so much when there's other options, like, Lithuania, Switzerland, Italy? Yeah, I'm not sure about the televote score for this. I can't imagine it being so high to the point where it could win. But I do think it could do well with the juries, though. Yeah, it's just, I don't know if I can see loads of people voting for it, but I'm starting to understand more and prepare myself more for the possibility of it winning. So those are the three main countries that people are talking about, and I think if I had to put them in order of which I think is more likely to win, I think it would be Switzerland, then France, and then Malta, I think. Yeah, that's just what I think. But those are the three countries that people are talking about the most. But I want to talk a bit more about Lithuania, because the more the time goes by, the more I think, for some reason, Lithuania could win. I think it definitely shouldn't be ruled out as a potential winner. I think there are some people who think it could win, but I think people are focusing quite a lot on those three other countries. But I wouldn't be surprised at all, not at all. I can really picture it winning. I think it could do great with both the televote and the jury vote, and it could be enough to win. Definitely, I wouldn't ignore, leave it out or disregard it at all. It could even maybe win the televote, actually. It could be one of the countries that could potentially win the televote or do very well, and I think it will get points from the juries as well. So yeah, I think Lithuania is definitely one to watch. We already know the performance is great anyway, so I imagine they'll just do the same thing but just on a bigger stage. So I think it will look really cool on a big stage. Yeah, there's just something about it that I just think we should keep an eye on. And I'm prepared for it to win. I don't know if other people might be surprised at that, but I wouldn't be. Another country which I think should be considered as a potential winner, and this is a really interesting one, is Italy. So if you watch my videos, then you probably know that Italy this year is my personal favourite. It's my personal winner. And yeah, it's I think it's like fourth favourite to win in the odds right now, but Italy are always one to watch anyway. So I love it, and I would love it to win. But within the fandom, at least with Eurovision fans, it seems to be very divisive. You've got people like me that really love it and think it's amazing. But there's also a lot of people that really don't like it. Um, so it's very divisive. But I'd like to think that people at home would really like this. I think it's one of those televote songs. It's going to need televote points for it to win or to even come close to winning because I don't know what the juries will think of it. Um, I imagine the juries will give most of their points to Switzerland, Sweden. Um, I hope they don't completely ignore it because it doesn't deserve to be completely left out. I hope the juries do appreciate it, but I think it's going to need help from the people at home. When it comes to Italy's televote score, I'm going to be hiding like that because I'm wondering if maybe it will be like Norway 2019, where they get a really big televote score. That would be cool, and I think that could happen. But I don't want to get my hopes up for it to win because it's just so specific. It's not for everyone. Um, it's almost like too good to be true. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, I love it. But usually the song that I want to win doesn't win anyway. So that's part of the reason why I'm preparing myself for it not to win. But surely it has to be in the top five. Like, it has to be. Yeah. But you never know. If they put on an absolutely amazing performance, people are going to vote for it and they're going to remember it. Um, so you never know. It could win. But it's just the juries. They're probably going to let me down. Anyway, so yeah, I think it should still be considered as a possible winner. Can't wait to see what happens with that. But I think the only other possible winner, I think, is Bulgaria. Um, yeah, with Bulgaria, I'd be happy if it wins. I'm not sure if it's as likely as some of the others. It's possible, definitely. Again, like Switzerland, I can imagine this having a really creative, atmospheric staging. And if they can get the meaning of the song, it's quite a relatable message. If they can get that across in a really cool way, um, yeah, I think it would. People at home, I think, could like it. Young people. There is still the Billie Eilish reference, even though she doesn't sound as similar to Billie Eilish as she did last year. She sounds more like herself, but I think there still could be Billie Eilish comparisons. But people like that. So I think people at home would like it. The juries, I think, could like it too, but I'm wondering. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as likely as maybe Switzerland, Lithuania. But it has to be up there at the top, though, surely. I can see it being in the top five and definitely top 10. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward, as I am with everything, to seeing the staging. That'll give us a better idea. And I'd be happy with it winning. There are a few other countries to briefly mention. Um, I don't think it will be Iceland. Unfortunately, I think 2020 could have been their year. I can't see them winning this year. Televote, I think they could do very well with, but I just can't see it winning overall. Sweden, I think that will just be the same as what happened in 2019, 2018, where the juries love it, they get loads of 12 points, but the public give it 89 points and it doesn't win, and it ends up coming like 7th overall. That's usually what happens with Sweden over the past few years, so I think it'll just be like that again. Um, but even Sweden, like, that could win, like, you never know, it could happen. Although if it does happen, I think people will not be happy with it. But yeah, you can never rule it out. It could happen. San Marino, I don't think so. even though, you know, all the excitement over it, if Flowrider is in Rotterdam, yeah, it will surely give them the best ever result. And San Marino have done great this year. Um, yeah, it's brilliant, but I don't think that will win either. And I don't think it'll be Cyprus. And that's it, really. Who else can it be? Like I say, I think it'll be somebody, a country that's currently in the top 10 of the betting favourites. So, yeah, I think the ones that I've mentioned, Switzerland, Malta, France, Lithuania, Italy, Bulgaria, I think those are the main possibilities, really. Yeah. If I had to narrow it down to two, I'm thinking Switzerland and Lithuania. For now, if I had to narrow it down, I'll say that. But any of the ones that I mentioned, it could be any of them. But it's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see the voting to finally get a winner. Yeah, it's really exciting. It's not long to go, it's less than a month away, and it's finally happening, so I can't wait. So, yeah, that was fun to try and, you know, figure it out. But like I say, I think we all know that there's even the favourites to win, it's still not obvious. It might not be one of them. Um, but yeah, it's fun to try and talk through the possibilities. I'd be happy with Italy, Lithuania, Switzerland, and Bulgaria. I'd be happy with any of those. Yeah. So there we go. Let me know what you think. Do you agree, or do you think the winner could be somebody completely different that I haven't even mentioned? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you for the next video. Hopefully I can react to rehearsal footage if we have it. So yeah, this is not the last video before Eurovision starts. So yeah, I'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.